everyone, we are from FBI. We're going to talk about the impact of Columbus' arrival towards Native Americans. I am Al Habib Josepha, and I'm going to talk about today's conditions of Native Americans. Today's conditions of Native Americans is absolutely miserable. They are living in some poorest areas. They are living in poverty. They face some problems such as alcoholism, consuming drugs, and even suicide. Many Native American teenagers are not happy with the negative image of Native Americans.
I'm Rabi Haidar. Today I want to tell you about establish the slave trade. Okay, so a big change connected to the new discovery was slavery. Europeans needed workers to help build houses and clear fields. They soon realized that they could offer trade goods like tools and weapons to certain American Indian tribes that would bring them other Indians captured in tribal wars. These captured Indians were bought and sold as slaves. You might think that Africans brought to America were the only enslaved people. It is surprising to learn that before 1700 in the Carolinas, one-fourth of all enslaved people were American Indian men, women, and children. Before 1700, the port city of Charleston shipped out many native slaves to work in the Caribbean or to be sold in northern cities like Boston. Slavery led to warfare among tribes and too much hardship. Many tribes had to move to escape the slave trade, which destroyed some tribes completely. In time, the practice of enslaving native peoples ended. However, it had greatly affected American Indians of South and the Southwest. Okay, that's all.
Hello, I'm Rico Bagas, and I want to tell you what new crops are brought from Europe and to America. On Columbus' second voyage, he brought white bread, as well as radish, chickpeas, and melons. Livestock came from Europe, including horses, cattle, pigs, sheep, goats, and chickens. Over time, new crops were introduced to the Americas, including wheat, rice, barley, oats, coffee, sugar, fruits, melons, and Kentucky bluegrass. The introduction of wheat was of particular significance. For thousands of years, bread had been a central part of European diet. Wheat was not indigenous to Americas, where maize was the native grain. In the first few decades of colonization, European settlers imported goods like bread, wine, olive oil, and certain meats. Over time, wheat and other European foodstuffs were cultivated and grown in America. Thank you.
My name is Emmanuel Zerdi Cantona, and I want to tell you about the colonies genocide to Native American. From the time Europeans arrived on American shore, the frontier became a space of crushing difference that led the U.S. government to authorize over 1,500 wars, attacks, and raids on Indians. By the close of the Indian Wars in late 19th century, fewer than 238,000 indigenous people remained, a sharp decline from the estimate 5 million to 15 million living in North America when Columbus arrived in 1492. The reason for this racial genocide were multi-layered. Settlers arrived on American shore hungry for Indian land and the abundant natural resources that came in with it. Indians collision with the British during the American Revolution and the War of 1812 exacerbated American hostility and suspicion toward them. Even more fundamentally, indigenous people were just too different. Their skin was dark, their language was different, and world belief and that all were beyond most white men's comprehension.
Hello, My name is Arya Dewanggas Jatmiko and I want to tell you about diseases that brought by colonists to the New World. As the European explorers came to North America, they brought big changes to Native American tribes. Europeans carried a hidden enemy to the America, new disease. Native peoples of America had no immunity to the disease that European explorers and colonists brought with them. Diseases such as smallpox, influenza, measles, and even chickenpox proved deadly to American Indians. Europeans were used to these diseases, but native people had no resistance to them. Sometimes the illness spread through direct contact with colonists. Other times, they were transmitted as Indians traded with one another. The result of this contact with European germs was horrible. Sometimes whole villages perished in a short time.
That's all from our video. Thanks for watching.